In previous videos, I first showed major assembly steps for the Premonition model, and then dove into detailed construction for the ship's cockpit. That build overview is helpful context, so you might check it out if you haven't seen it. This time I'll be going deep, diving into detail for the ship's core. I'll show how to create the center top of Premonition, the section above the main frame. We'll be putting this together step by step. Okay, let's build. Okay, let's make the center core for Premonition, and which is this component. From the top, you can see the big channel here, in which later we're going to insert some blocking and things coming up towards the cockpit. But this also has some color blocking, the black and the sand blue coming down. There's some texture here with a half plate reveal on the ingots coming up around the orange and the black, a bit of texture work. It has curves which are coming around the side and then wrap around through several elements in the back, and then also curves here in the front where it's continued up and around. The main support structure for the ship is coming down through this center area later on. Here in the back, there's some fun shaping with the ship coming to a point here, and then this bit of sand blue geometry in the back. These are actually rotated out at 45 degrees. And from the rear, you can see there's a bit of some pops of color in here as this comes together, and paid some attention here below. Give something of interest, which is supporting up into that unit here in the white section. Then finally here in the front, we need to be able to have connection up for the cockpit to bring itself in a sturdy way to the main core, which are all of these brackets and various other sorts of supports. There's some bits and bobbles here which will look nice once the cockpit is connected, as well as connection points for the display stand to come in and very securely mount this unit to the ship. So let me show you how this comes together. To begin the core, we're going to need a frame, and to show this, I'll just zip along the major subcomponents. For the frame itself, we're going to need a nice field of plates and tiles to form the bottom. And then we're going to begin to build out these beams which will come across. And you can see now starting at the edges, starting the curves, which will come up and form a contiguous curve around the bottom, and then eventually up and around the center of the ship, along with a field of jumpers, which will be important later as we connect in the cross brace, which comes across to hold the nacelles. Into that base, it's also going to be very important that we have a good lateral strength to help carry the frame out across to the nacelles. And to do that, I'm using many of these 1x2 to 2x2 brackets, including this one here at the front where we've got a stud inversion. That's a 2x2 jumper and a 2x2 round tile with a hole, and that's getting the sockets going two different directions. I'm also going to build out a kind of collar, which then goes along the front around the connection where the cockpit subassembly will come into the core. We want that to be both nice and strong, and also to look pretty nice down from below. This segment then can come in on the bottom of the core to give us that lateral strength, the forward connection where the cockpit will go, and a place where then the big beam across the nacelles will connect in and make this nice and super strong. And with that, I'm going to move now to more real-time construction, and we'll continue step by step. The next subunit, we start with a 1x3 plate. That plate goes into a 1x2 plate, a 1x1 to 1x1 inverted bracket. It has this quarter round extension piece of a cone on it, and then up and around a round plate and a half tile. That's going to connect into this bracket, 1x2 to 1x2, round plate here in blay, round plate cheese, and then another cheese. And the brackets will go on top of one another. So it's going to form a little unit that looks like this. This then will go here across the top. Here. and then the mirror image will come across here. And then the last little bit here is this, and so we've got a 1x2 to 2x2 bracket into the receptacle of the bracket, a couple of stacked round plates, long round plate and two, brick with side stud here that's projecting out a 1x1 plate and a half round. And then on the back of that bracket is a 1x1 to 1x2 inverted bracket, a half jumper and round with a light on it, and that's capped over here with a grill tile and a round plate. And then I just need to remember where these go. Okay. So now back into our core, it's going to connect in on these two studs here. And then same thing on this side. Okay. The next bit here starts with this. And so this is a, so there's a 1x2 here, plate here in turquoise. Hung off of that are two 45-degree slopes. Those are going into two headlights. There's a couple of inkwells on top of that that will be exposed later in the bottom of the ship for some bar elements to connect to. And then in the bottom of that are two of the baby D snot elements here in white. That little bit is going to carry these two assemblies. So there's a 1x2 plate here, in this case a dark blay. It's hung off of that are two 45-degree slopes. Below that is a 1x1 round here in gray, and a baby D snot element. Oh, I made a mistake. So hung off the top of that dark gray is one 45-degree slope with the undercut, and then one with the top cut out, so that then there can be a stud on top of this other one, which is a 1x1 plate, and then there's a quarter round tile here in sand blue on top of that. Okay. So, and this element, the stud that's projected off the side is going to pick up this wedge. And so that is going to come together and look like this. And so then I can connect that in to this other unit here of that stud. One more of these. Okay. And this is creating this kind of bottom finishing element. It's going to go on the rear back of this core. So so the two studs here that are coming off of this plate are going to go into the bottom of these baby D snot elements, and hold this. So looks like this. The next bit starts is going to be this sand blue pentagonal section, trapezoidal section off the back of the ship. And let's see, how should I? And that starts with this. So there's two inverted brackets here in bright light orange, 1x1 to 1x1. They're into an inverted bracket, 1x2 to 1x2 in dark azure, and two stacked plates. That is then going to connect into this inverted bracket in blue, 1x2 to 2x2. I'm going to go ahead and do that before I forget how it connects. On the top of that bracket is a 2x2 tile. On the back of it is a brick with a fixed stud in the center. I was happy to find this, use this part in this way. And then that's tapped off with this 45-degree slope, which cuts up to a point. Okay. So I'll connect this in just a second to the next section of this, which I'm going to open this up. Begins with this bit of framing, and if I flip this around, I'm using the old style plate with the clip lights that are the half plate thin to get some stud reversals. And so this one in blue then is carrying a sand blue 45-degree slope. There's a plate underneath it and a round plate here in green. And this 2x2 in belay, a 2x2 corner bit is going to carry that here from below. And so this side looks similar, the same kind of plate with a clip light, but in this case it's got a bracket, and then there's extending out a plate and a tile, which then creates this kind of one stud wide jog out look here. And I've got now the studs on both sides, and we can use that to build out the this shape. And so I'm going to take these pentagonal tiles and face them against one another. So 1, 2, 1, 2. So just they're at 90 degrees, but now I've got a flat edge here in the back. That then is going to be set at 45 degrees on top of this white support. And the fit here is something I found very pleasing. I like this a lot. So now we've got this rotated 45 degrees. So we've got flat back and with all the tiles coming together. And if you can see well, the support on the inside from this 45-degree slope is peak slope is perfect. So it's just diving just behind these tiles, and it holds everything just so. It's exactly right. I like this geometry a lot. Into the sides for that unit are going to come 2 of these, and I will open these up. Okay. So there's a 1x1 plate here with the clip light, and again, this is the old style clip light. That's just a half plate width to get stud reversal. It's into a bracket, and that bracket's leading to a 1x2 plate, tile, 45-degree slope, and a dark pink skate. And this then is going into a 2x2 corner. There's an ingot here on the top. Around the back, this is a brick with 2 side studs here in red. I've got tacked underneath it a round plate in pink. There's a inverted bracket here and a plate with an open hole, round plate with an open hole. And this gets tacked in on top of that. It's like this. And since we have studs now on both sides, we can cap this off. Let me just cinch this up. We can cap this off with those pentagonal tiles. And it makes for, in my mind, I like this flush, nice fit. I think it looks pretty good. And we can then now connect this in to this subassembly on those using the stud projected off of that bracket. And then you can see the skate just locks inside the gap there. And same thing on this side. Okay. So I'm quite happy with the shape for this. I think this was very satisfying. And this will then come off sit in the back of the center core for the ship. And so this green plate, those 2 studs will come in on the receptacle here of the orange plate, which is projected off the back, and the whole thing will sit in this channel that we had created earlier from below. So it looks like this now, supported from underneath. Yeah, I think it's I like that. A couple little finishing bits on here. There's two more baby D snot element into a 45-degree slope with the bottom cut out and a modified, and then that's holding this modified tile. And now these will come in here with the snot element coming in on top of this bracket. And this is to give, I wanted some color blocking flowing up and around the back. So this looks like so. And so now the sand blue cuts up and around. There's the nice black, and then the white is all contained. I think it's a good shaping, a pleasant shaping. All right, set this aside for a little while because the next element is complicated. So we're going to put together this area on the side that has some texture and color flowing into it. And to do that, it's going to be sitting up underneath some slopes, which are going to push into the back of these clips. And therefore, I needed something that could sit under the clips, under where the give space for the slopes to connect into, keep the clips and everything at just the right spot. So I ended up doing that with these clips into the round plate with the bar on the back. So there are 6 of those. And then here, so if I just crack one of them open, so it just looks like this. There's a stack here, the 1x2 plate with a clip. There's a 1x1 on top of it. And there are 5 of those doubled up. They cut across with these plates on top. And this then gives a spot where we can connect, where I can connect in the ingot on top. A little bit special, this last one is just a 1x1, and the stack here, the red and the blay, they're just both 1x1 plates with clip. So with this put together, we need to slide the ingots up so that they're flush with the top of the clips. And so if you have a table, you can do that and make it nice and flush. Then into that, get a bunch of other elements to attach. So start with this one. So this is a 2x2 plate with side studs in black. It's got a 1x2 plate behind it, and then it's capped off with 2 45-degree slopes in black. And this will then come into these 2 slopes here. Sorry, not slopes. These 2 plates with the clips. And now if I from the side, you can see how then this is getting gapped out so that I can get the slopes in, use these slopes, but still be able to connect the studs. Connect the plates down underneath. I've got the next bit is a peak slope in white, 45 degrees, baby D snot element, and a 2-high plate, effectively, 1x1 plate here. This, if I remember correctly, is going to go like this. And then carrying the color blocking into that is another baby D snot element, 2 1x1 plates, and then this cut over peak slope here in sand blue, to which I've applied a decal. And that sits on top, and then you can see now the color flowing up and then cutting in. So I'm very happy to have those those new snot elements. Without those, I would not have been able to do this, because I need the color blocking exposed here on the top as well. So I thought that came together. That was I enjoyed being able to pull that off. This one is a 2x2 plate with side studs. It's coming up into a 1x2 plate in the back. It's got a peak slope, and then two 1x2 plates here in light blue, which are capped with 45-degree slopes. And then carrying around underneath that is another of those baby D snot elements. And this one will get, for the moment, tacked in like so. Which leaves just the right gap for the final one of these baby D snot element, another 45-degree slope with the back cut out, 45-degree peak slope with the back cut out, a couple of plates, and that will come in then here. And looks like so. The last bit to attach to this has some more stud gymnastics happening. So there's a 1x2 bracket, 1x1 to 1x2 to 2x2 bracket here in white with a 2x2 plate on it. That is heading into a 2x2 plate here in red. It's capped with a grill tile, round plate. And then there's hung off of that is a 1x1 brick with side stud in dark azure, inverted bracket, round plate, another brick with side stud, round plate, and tile. And so this is effectively just bringing just carrying the geometry around to get this tile into the right spot. And this unit comes up underneath the two remaining studs. And into the, those studs are going to connect into the blue 1x2 tile, 1x2 plate. All right. So that's this completed unit. And I can attach this into the main core. This one will be on this side. And so we'll connect in with all these studs are going to connect in with the bottom of all of these plates and tiles. It's adding strength to this, holding it in just the right spot. Like that. And I've built out the mirror image. Okay, so it looks like that. Now there's just a bunch of finishing elements to come around and cap everything off nicely. The first of those are two of these round curved 90-degree curved slopes. And they're just held together. There's a tile and a plate underneath. And that will come in on these studs here in the back. So one like this and one like this. And so it's carrying now that curve now underneath. We need to carry it across the top and around as well. And to help do that are these two bits. So 1x1 brick with side stud, a couple of 1x2 round plates, and one of these peak cone bits. These two bits are going to come in underneath here into there's a stud here on the top of that round plate. Yeah, this is good. So it's matching up, the top of this is matching up with that round half tile. So carrying the curve back up through here. And we'll do the same thing over here. Oops. Back. Nice. Okay. Now with the curves coming over both of these sides, we can bridge across. And to do that, two of these 1x6 plate, it's got stacked on top a 1x4, 1x2, 1x2, just to carry the color blocking up and around between the black and the white for these four curved slopes. And this is going to then bridge across in front of all these ingots. It'll hide all of the ingots except for the very top, where it protrudes up in front of the clips. And in my mind makes for like a very nice look, the way that has come together. And do the same thing over on this side. Now looking at this, the core, the next bit is going to be to fill in these corners. And to do that, I have these elements. If I crack this open, there's a 2x2 wedge plate. It has a cut tile here in white, the rounded 1x2 plate into a 1x1 to 1x1 bracket. And that gets capped off with a wedge here in white and a half tile. And so we have two of these, and those are going to go into the bottom of the those brackets here in the bottom. So it should go like this, and so. So carrying the white up and around, there's that little tile is just giving a little bit of a jog down into that channel. So almost done. This last little bit here needs to get capped off, and to do that, there are these elements. This is a 1x1 to 1x2 bracket. It's got a cheese grater on it. That's going up into a 1x1 to 1x1 bracket, inverted 45-degree slope, and an ingot. So I have two of these. And now these green plates that we extended are going to be the receptacle to carry that. So we can drop this in top and get the fit now at the right height, and the jog back around at the 45-degree cut. So then the last bit of this back is going to be to cap all of this off for the channel, and that then is the chance to use this part that I've been keen to use for quite a while, this big wedge. It's pretty fun, white, and that will go across these dark greens remaining studs. So it gives the cut in with the color as well as holds that this unit, the sand blue, in just the right spot in the back. And so this is the completed core for the Premonition ship. That completes construction for Premonition's core. Now that we have a core and a cockpit, we next will need the nacelle sections. Those are the sides which will support the engines, wings, and cannons. And in an upcoming video, I'll dive into detailed construction for that. Thanks for watching. See you next time.